and gentlemen, welcome back to iHeartRadio So Bad It's Good. Today, we have somebody that is so good it's great. We have a legend joining us today. 10 years ago, March 11th, we had a show, Hit Bravo, that I truly think changed the reality landscape, showed us a different lifestyle. That's where these shows really do the best work, when we get to see people that are not necessarily like us, but they have the same friendships like us. They have the same, it did so much for reality television. Now, the lead, my favorite character on this, is joining us today. And I say character, even though he is a real person. We're going to talk about his hair care line, Reza Be Obsessed. We're going to talk about his fitness routine, because I'm really pissed off that he's actually becoming incredibly buff. We're going to talk about it all. Reza Farahan, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited to be here.
Or should I say Reza Deer? Reza June. Yes, that's it. 10 years, like, would you ever think in a million years, 10 years ago, you would still be on the Shahs of Sunset, that your life would have taken the turn it did?
So the part of me that thinks that I can do anything in life and I'm good at everything, that was promising my castmates that I would get them to the promised land beyond whatever number of seasons Jersey Shore got. Yes, I believed it in my heart. I did. I have to be honest about it, but I was truly humbled to experience this beautiful country that I live in through a different lens, because I grew up in Beverly Hills during the Argo, that movie Argo with Ben Affleck. So you know anything about the hostage crisis? I was a little kid growing up here when it was very not cool to be from Iran, and showing our culture on Shahs of Sunset and hearing from people saying they wish they were Persian, and having Greeks, Italians, Mexicans, and people, Ecuadorians, people from all over the globe tell me that we're just like them, or they feel just like us, was such a gift that I couldn't have imagined. I couldn't have imagined the beauty of that when we embarked upon this journey.
We're 2 minutes into this interview and you already hit a home run. I mean, that's such a beautiful sentiment, but it's also really true. I mean, I think that's what, Ria, I talk to the listeners a lot about, be proud in these things that we love, be proud in these reality shows that we love, because it shows a greater truth. It actually helps bond us together. Now, it's also silly and we see a lot of fights and it's amazing in that sense, but it also has this kind of greater truth to life. And we actually get to kind of learn to love and live with one another a little better. Everybody freaked out when they heard you were coming on. The big question is 10th season. When is it? We need it. What can you tell us anything?
I can't tell you anything because I don't know anything.
Wait, you don't know anything. They have you guys all.
No, listen, it's always like this. We're biting our nails. Listen, am I confident? Absolutely. I saw what the ratings were because I follow, TV deets on Instagram.
Yes,
so I saw what, the ratings were for the reunion part 1 and part 2. And that, for a non-housewife show, the ratings, I believed, or what I read, were phenomenal. So I'm confident, but you never know. And we don't know. I don't know.
It's so crazy to be this deep into it. And you're still like year after year, like having to I hope so. But we saw a picture with you and the rest of the cast in January. You guys were all together. You were all smiling. I mean, so we are at a place where we will all film together, correct?
100%. I mean, the beauty of living, in such close proximity with one another. We see each other on the regular. And my good friend Lily Galici is having an event, and I believe I'm going to see Golnessa and maybe a few other castmates there. So,
well, why don't I just bring a camera down and start filming?
Right?
Like, I feel like let's get ahead of schedule here, because I feel like so many things are happening. We're going to get back into the show a lot, but I follow you on Instagram, and I don't usually leave comments on like stories or something. It was you doing the exercise with the ropes, and I was like, dude, like, what the, like, where did this come from in your life that you were like, I want to make a change to get more fit? I want to make like your look. If you go from the first season to now, it is
Yeah.
so, I mean, like I missed the mustache, but just from a character standpoint, like you are considered a hot dude now. Like, where did this change come from? Why did you want to make all of these changes?
So I never wanted to make any of the changes. I never thought about any of them. The pandemic hit. Adam and I started living a different life. The gold love bracelets came off. I don't wear a rollie. I stopped dyeing the
Whoa.
hair. Yeah, it's really crazy. We started living a different life, doing yoga and running. Adam's vegan, growing vegetables on the side of the house. Like we're farming with the Farahans basically over here. When we want to eat a salad, we literally walk out of the kitchen with a bowl onto the side of the house with some kitchen shears and like cut veggies, wash them and like eat. My man's vegan, so he's been keeping me 90% vegan at home. I
Are you
own,
the happiest you've ever been?
I've never been happier. I've never felt this comfortable physically in my being. I've never been this cardiovascularly fit. Like I feel so good that the hair, it didn't feel right
But
to
it looks
dye it
good, but it looks
anymore.
awesome. But it looks awesome the
Thank
way it
you.
is. You know,
I
like it
really,
doesn't,
I'd
it,
never be able to go back. It just,
yeah, like it
it was
looks
a
great.
thing. I was in it to win it. Like I thought they would be closing the casket and I would be touching my shit up while the lid was
There's
being
coloring
like
in the casket with you.
totally like there's stuff just for men in the casket, like for the afterlife. Truly, if you had asked me 3 years ago, Reza, do you like I see you gray doing the daddy,
Yeah,
I'd
yeah,
be
yeah.
like, you're nuts. And I'm willing to bet money on it that that won't happen. I'm going to be touching my stuff up until I die. And now the thought of it is like foreign to
Yeah,
me.
it looks so perfect on, like I can't, hate to
Thank
keep, but
you.
like, but it's like, when you come upon a look, we only do this a few times in our lives where you get with a
Yes,
look and you're like, oh, that's that dude, that's my look,
totally.
that's
Yeah.
so you said this happened during the pandemic, which for a lot of us, the pandemic really messed us up. Like we gained weight, we got
Yeah.
drinking problems. You did the exact opposite. Was that so? You guys, as a couple, were like, we don't want to waste this time. Let's get healthy. Was that what it was like during the pandemic?
Well, it was, I don't know that it was like such a conscious decision because I was going to the gym, but I was doing the Hollywood life, like eating lunch and dinners and going to this, out and meet this one for a coffee and then getting dessert. And you don't realize how that lifestyle is a very unhealthy. And I didn't realize how much I was eating. And we started running and jogging and hiking, and it started
Yeah.
happening organically. And we were going to the only place that was open, like landscaping stores, and like Home Depot was like an
Yes.
essential. So
That
we
was your new
start,
nightclub scene, was like Lowe's and Home
totally that's
Depot. Yeah.
popping. Literally, Adam and I were like, dude, should we drop like $300 on this cactus? And he'd be like, let's pop a bottle, dude. Like, it'd be like, that's a bottle of. So yeah, we'd bring like a cactus back to the house and plant it, and we felt like fabulous.
Well, your husband, we've seen you guys get into arguments. We've seen you guys do, your thing over the seasons. You guys obviously are good right now, because the only reason I ask, because we just recently, I don't want any like bad news with like Josh Flagg and his husband just got out a couple
Yeah.
weeks ago. Are you guys good? Are we going to get any surprise announcements coming up at all?
So unless I start to backslide, because I'm realizing the older I get, the more dysregulated I am, the more it activates me and I act inappropriately, or like I lash out or I get overloaded. And to be in like the hair care business, to be on a reality show, to be a realtor, to be under like scrutiny and the spotlight, and to have a gay partner and family and friends and maintain all of it, it's you like you gotta be like, "Mm."
Yeah.
So if I don't stay, and if I start putting on weight and wearing gold bracelets and dyeing my hair
He's the
again,
older. It's like when Jax got bad again. He's like, hey, we can't be the old Reza. You got to be this Reza. But
totally.
is there any part of that to like, well, that would actually make a good reality show season if I bet? Like, I mean, you're not in that kind of. You've never self-produced in that way, have you?
I wouldn't self-produce to the detriment of my well-being, like to for a show. Like I have to like be able to sleep at night, and I've done some whack stuff, but unfortunately, none of it was like I didn't go into it thinking,
You
oh,
did
I'm
it in the
gonna
moment. In the moment, yeah.
unfortunately, yeah, I had like, yes, but
What has this show taught you about yourself over 10 years though? Like, so, I mean, you came into it a person and you are a different person now. I mean, seeing yourself and seeing even your faults on a reality television highlighted, what did that do for you mentally? Like, did that, obviously you've come out on the other side very strong right now, but I just don't understand sometimes the psychology behind it, what you guys have to deal
yeah.
with in terms of like I always wonder what part of my personality would be highlighted by a show.
So you don't know anything, and no one shares anything or asks you if you would like this shown, or you know you
Yeah, yeah,
just
yeah.
you're just doing your thing. But like who I am as a person, I always think in life there's a gift. Regardless of the situation, there will be a gift to take away. You may not see it now, but you may see it later. And let me tell you, having 9 seasons of a reality show to look back and smile and cringe, and you remember the commentary, you see it on social media, you hear it from the fans, and you have time to reflect. And it's if you choose to use it in a way where you're like woke enough with yourself and you have a self-observing ego, it's a beautiful thing because you watch it and it's a mirror for you to get grossed out by the bad things, and it reinforces the positive things. And
It's
then
humbling. Yeah, it's humbling if you allow it to be. Yeah.
absolutely, and if if you want better, you do better, and then you have an opportunity to continue watching, and people give you feedback. You know, you know.
Do you ever get competitive with your show? Because I feel like you guys busted out of the gates because you actually had what I think like real relationships. And that's why these shows, like when it really works, is you can tell that you guys have known each other for so long. It was like that first couple of seasons of Vanderpump Rules where you're like, oh my God, these guys have the relationships right there.
Yeah.
Do you ever get competitive looking at other things in reality or Bravo of like, they don't have what we got? Like, do you get competitive like that?
I try not to, because when you're from another culture, you sometimes feel like people that may look different than you get treated better than you. And
That's
so
great.
you
Yeah.
always want to like not do that, because then you feel some sort of way that's
Yeah. Yeah.
unpleasant. I try not to do that ever because I end up feeling some sort of way and it's not good.
No, I mean, you're dead on right. That's a really awesome way to look at it. Now, I'm going to get back to the show, you guys, but I do want to just talk about the hair care line a little bit. Why hair in the first place? And is this correct? Your hair products have indulgent ingredients like gold, champagne, and crushed diamonds in them. Is this true?
Yes. And so I'm going to ask a little bit of a tricky question that involves using the word Caucasian, but you are Caucasian, I'm Middle
Yes.
Eastern.
Yes, sir.
And like Middle Easterners, my hair not is very aggressive. Like Caucasians have sweet white people hair. I have angry, like Middle Eastern hairs that don't like being told what to do. And I met my business partner in a park,
Yeah, I
and
read that. Like a
she
dog park, right?
a dog
Okay,
park,
yeah.
and my dog went for her dog, and I literally was like in awe of her glamour and her beauty and her diamond and everything, that like I was like, if I were a woman, I'd want to be her. So I had to apologize because my dog was nipping at her dog. She recognized me from the show. We get to talking. I asked her what she did. She told me I had great hair. She told me what she did, asked me if I'd ever thought. And the floodgates opened, and I talked about, you know, having to relax my hair when I was 16 and hair products that worked great in my 20s. Those companies aren't around anymore. I had to look for new products. And then like, she was like, we could work together. And I was like, but I would want something really amazing that I'd want to use myself. And literally, she was like, heads up, like I'm a chemist by trade. Champagne has the
Wait,
same
she was a chemist too? You bumped into a
Yes.
chemist in a that's amazing. Wow.
Not a rich, beautiful,
I know, diamonds, everything.
businesswoman, diamond. Yes. And her background is chemistry, and she owns the factory that Reza Be Obsessed is produced in. Like, this is a business maven. Like, I'm lucky to be able to partner with her.
I mean, the Kardashians wish they owned their own factory at this point.
Yeah,
Are you kidding me?
No, she owns her own factory. So we are manufactured in the facility. I'm business partners with her. And she let me be creative and do things that, listen, the champagne diamonds, they make sense because chemically they work and achieve what is good for your hair. But it makes sense because they're things I'm obsessed with. And I know when I pop Cristal or when I wear my Cartier Panther necklace, I feel good. When I wear my gold Rolex, when I go to the bank, don't come to my house. When I go to the bank and I get it out of the safe deposit box and I wear it, it makes me feel good. And I thought, listen, if I have an opportunity to give fans access to a little bit of glam and luxury that I get like in the confessionals, you know, those Bravo confessionals.
Very intense.
They're intense. And I have access to the best products. I have a hairdresser, makeup artist there working on me with the most expensive stuff you could imagine. I wanted to do something that was fun, that spoke to me, that was really luxurious at a great price. And I'm blessed to be at Macy's now. And we're doing a
Macy's?
Dude,
that's Macy's. Insane.
A gay Persian man got into Macy's.
That's the dream. That is the dream. You've done it. Wait, okay, so it sounds like you're insanely proud of this, which you should be. Now, this is years of work that you guys have been doing here.
Yes.
You have the fixation shampoo, the conditioner, the leave-in, hairspray, the king of wax, the gel. Like, do you keep adding products? Do you keep adding products to the line, or
we're going to? The line has been out for a good amount of time in this formation, and we wanted to have everything. And the stuff works. So if you have a little bit of wax and a little gel and you use some hairspray, they're not going to weigh your hair down. And Macy's is doing a big thing for Pride Month. We're going to be in 50 stores with the Dream Kit that's $74 on Macy's.com. Sorry, I had to throw the plug in there.
No, please, my God, like everybody, no, this is what this is for. Yeah.
Yeah, it's $74. You get the shampoo, you get the hairspray, you get the conditioner, and you get the little leave-in, which you'll get hooked and end up wanting. So that's Macy's for Pride Month. And I'm going to be doing a live. I'm the first gay man doing a Macy's live, which I'm really proud of. Opening doors for other people.
This is all stuff you should be proud of. And it sounds like you probably got your initial investment back even from doing. I mean, it's so funny, these things that life throw us. This is just a walk in the park, and you've created a whole little section of an industry for yourself that you never thought you would be a part of, but life throws you great things. And this is actually a positive thing that you're using your image to do. So we always got to go support that. And it's like those things is that like, you gotta try it and see if it works for you. But it sounds like there's something for everybody in this line.
Absolutely.
How much gold are we talking about in here? Can I
you can totally ask. The molecular weight is so light that it actually stays and shields the hair. So if you think you're gonna be able to sift, that's not happening.
Okay. I needed to ask. Totally. I hope you understand.
I appreciate it. Listen, I'm Persian. I get it.
So I'm going to put the website information, you guys. I'll put the Macy stuff, all of that in the description, because we always have to support anybody that's generous with our time. But it actually sounds like you talk to people and they're like, oh, I have this tummy tea or whatever. This is actually a real product. These are like, and when you get into Macy's, that's like, no, that's no joke. That's Macy's. That is actually the store that I wished my parents would take me back to school shopping at. So what's next for that? You got the Macy's with the hair care line. You're going to do
Yes.
the live. What else in regards is coming up in regards to the hair care line?
Well, hopefully, as the world is opening up and places are going to be more open to larger gatherings, I'm going to be going to your local Macy's, and they're America's #1 retailer. 1 out of 2 Americans is a Macy's customer. So I'm going to get to hopefully be interacting with a lot of the people that are using the products, and I'll be in the Macy's stores doing meet and greets.
Do you love meeting the fans? What do you think about the fan base of Shahs? I
Love,
mean, because you guys,
love,
this is a very strong,
love,
like,
love. I love. I love it. I love it so much. BravoCon was one of the best experiences.
you
I've
were
ever
wild at
had.
BravoCon. I was like, you were pumped. Like, it was awesome to see you there. You're all anytime you're on Watch What Happens Live too. You're the best.
Thank you. First of all, I am thinking if you guys are there to see me, I'm gonna make it fun AF for you. And all the panels I would do, a bunch of people, there'd be a station where you could take photos afterwards. And some of the Bravo Labs would stay for a certain amount of time. Obviously, you didn't have to stay for everyone because some of the lines were really long. But I had the attitude, first of all, like, how are you gonna dip on the line? Like, who do you like mentally find someone and you're like, okay, when I get to that person, I'm a dip? Like, what if I'm the next person? How are you gonna dip? So I would always stay for all of the fans. And I know that for a fact, it was a blessing and a miracle we made it to TV. But the reason we stayed on TV was because of those fans. And if I'm going to do anything, it's going to be for them. So 100%, I love it. They start asking me questions like they know me because they do. They watch the show. They know things about me.
We need the camera. We need the cameras there to follow a Macy's tour. We need the cameras that, like, it's ridiculous. These things are happening in your guys' lives.
Yeah.
I talked to Gigi a couple months ago or before her podcast taping, which you were a part of in Irvine. And, it's just like there are things happening that they could be filming right now. And that's the only frustrating thing about seeing your lives on Instagram or when you hang out. Like when we saw that picture in January, I was like, dude, the fact that cameras aren't here, that is ridiculous. And people should be arrested for this.
Oh
like,
my
we
God.
need to see this.
If you guys could hear, like, sometimes I wish y'all could hear some of the crazy things that I have to deal with when I hang out with these people. So yes.
I mean, you were on Watch What Happens Live with I think was it Dr. Wendy you were on with
Dr. Wendy
Osefo, yes.
Yes.
Do you ever pull Andy aside and go, "What's up, man? 10th season. I'm ready." Let's like do you ever like get in or just like hands off?
Not at all. Listen, I'm at the point where if we do them, it's a blessing. If I don't do it, there's a reason that I shouldn't be doing it. And there were seasons, maybe between season 3 and 4 or 4 and 5, that I was like nervous, but after a certain amount of time, it becomes a blessing and you're grateful for it. And it won't go forever. So there will be a day like, Vicky is gone. Like, dude, so that day does come.
Well, I'm going to say that day will not come. It will never come. And how dare you even say that?
I appreciate it.
I don't,
Thank
but
you.
there's a low rumbling because like if you go on Instagram, everybody listening, you guys are all on Instagram and Twitter and all that. There has been a low rumbling this last month too of like when the Shahs pickup's going to happen because we're like, the fans are now so invested in this after 10 years. Like, before Twitter, like it's funny, the veracity of the ferocity of the fan base. It's just people, you love Bravo yourself. You watch Bravo shows.
Are you kidding me? I know how it feels because I always say when I do Watch What Happens Live or I speak to people, I am as much, if not more, of a Bravo-holic than I am a Bravo celebrity. Like I'm still like in my day-to-day life, I'm not like, I'm not Erica Jane. You know, I don't have like I'm not walking around with the artistic director, and you know, so like
You don't have a Mikey Minden? You don't have your own personal
I
Mikey
don't.
Minden? Okay.
You know, so like on day to day, I don't feel like, oh, I'm this bro, you know. So
You're a
I am
person.
I'm such a Bravoholic that I know the investment. Like I want to know, like when those videos with Louis came out on Instagram, I was like,
Dude,
what? Why? You know, why the lag between seeing it and finding out how she feels about it? So I'm right there with you. Whenever
yeah, so
like
you watch in Jersey this season. Did you watch Salt Lake?
I did not watch Salt Lake. I
It
can't
wasn't
watch Salt Lake.
wait, why can't you watch Salt Lake? Just the ladies?
I can't deal with the Shah reference, like the name and the I can't.
No, it's
Yeah,
good.
I just
Okay, OC. Will you watch the OC?
totally. I watch OC. Yeah, I watch
Okay.
everything. I just don't watch Salt Lake City.
We have Beverly Hills coming back in May. Are you prepared to dive into the Erica Jane world again?
I am totally prepared to dive back in, but I'm obsessed with the fact that maybe some, you know, when your crazy gets untucked a little bit, I think maybe that might have happened a tiny bit
Yeah. No, it's
for someone. I'm not gonna say who, but someone's crazy might have gotten untucked a little bit on Beverly Hills.
You know, you live in the Beverly Hills areas. Do you come across these ladies in your everyday
All the
life?
time. Totally. Yeah. It's hilarious.
Yeah, Beverly Hills is like a housewife show on steroids this past season, and I'm kind of curious. They didn't really take a lot of time off in between because they wanted to get, well, the getting was good, I guess, and get back to filming. So I'm really curious because I was like, this was such an intense season that I don't even like. I'm like, should we have a little bit more of a break from these ladies, or do we like get into this again?
Yes. There's also this whole like roasting of like Erica Jane has grill marks and Jen Shah.
No grill marks. It's
grill
her
marks,
show.
She didn't even get seared. Grill marks.
It's ridiculous, like, Reza. It is ridiculous. Like
Carpaccio, homie, like nothing.
Like I mean, like I said after this final reunion, which you didn't get to see, but I was like, it's her show now. Like nobody's questioning her. Nobody's like, everybody's scared of her. Everybody won't like, and it's the weirdest thing to watch, and it's really not entertaining.
The two of them have a vicious side that you don't want to deal with, right? So yeah, like
they'll tackle you.
Yes, like they come for you, like, you know, and I think like Jen Shah will come for your, you know, your gay kid too. Like no holds barred, like right?
No, she really would. Well, I think Meredith said no. I mean, I believe he is. Yeah. I mean, you know, no, that wasn't, you were saying that in a positive way, but like, you know, that was
I'm gay.
big,
yeah. He's
wait, what are you
yeah.
Wait, wow. No, so that is, it's just crazy. The differences, but I also think it's maybe because Erica Jane, we've grown with, or we've seen her now for 7 or 8 seasons. So we're so invested in that. Jen Shah is like only 2 seasons. And we're like, I don't know. It's like weird. Like we're so invested in the Erica stuff, but the Jen Shah stuff gets a pass from the ladies, and it almost gets a pass from us because we're just kind of like, that's a mess over there, you know?
Yeah.
Do you watch Vanderpump Rules, or did you ever get into that?
Every season. They're my homies. Absolutely. They live closer to me. Like we're equidistant. I'm between Beverly. Yeah. Like they're very
Valley Village and yeah.
Yes.
Well, I've got to ask, did you hear about the Tom Schwartz, Katie Maloney breakup?
I believe I posted a comment of a broken heart on both of theirs. I'm like, you know, Bubba's for life. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not into it. It's devastating. I don't like it at all whatsoever. I'm not into it.
And then we had Lala and Randall break up on that show, which then Gigi got into a fight with Lala about Randall, which is very Gigi. What's it like watching Gigi grow throughout the years?
So Golnessa is such a Sagittarius. She has such a blunt. She says things and you think like, wait, did she just come for me? And then you're like, no, like she's just very blunt and she is so cool. And I learned from her and I've watched her over the years. She has such a unique, independent, like shero perspective. And then she can walk around the room and see something from an angle and you're like, I don't even see it. How do you feel that way? How are you speaking on that? But I have so much respect for her as a human and where she was and where she is now. I watch her as a mother. I'm in awe of her. And most mothers, almost every mother, you know, who dedicates that much time and love and energy, you know, because it's such a giving and it takes, you know. So I have so much respect. And it's been amazing to watch her.
So you really still consider you guys a family, you know, the shot, like, you know, you grew up together, you will always been in each other's lives.
Listen,
I mean, is it?
Golnessa is here at least a couple times a week. Like she's homies with my housekeeper because she's here so many times, like so many of the days that and Destiny lives across the streets. Not cut. Mike is very close. I text with him regularly and I talk to MJ a lot now. So
that's good. That's what everybody wants to know about the MJ stuff, which I was going to ask in a sec. But like Mike always gets compared to the Jax Taylor of Shahs of Sunset. We definitely saw him get into some trouble with them texts and stuff like that. Yeah. Where is Mike these days? Are you allowed to say what he's been up to, or he gets himself into a lot of trouble still?
You know, when you're on a reality show, there's definitely a lot of communication you receive from the public and they comment on stuff. Some stuff they like, some stuff they don't like. And some of it is, hey, you look good. And hey, you know, and he takes the bait.
Yeah.
He takes the bait and he gets involved in ego boosting conversations that really should be off limits. But he mentally kind of has at times somehow made excuses and made it work for himself and compartmentalized it. But it's not a good look when you're on TV. It's not smart because you always get outed.
Well, I mean, that's what I was like wondering at like lunches that you have that are off camera. Like, you guys are still like each other's friends. You'd be like, you know, do you give friendly advice to these people of like, you might want to cool it on this stuff? Like, so do you leave that alone?
Mike does not like, he says that I big brother him a lot.
Yeah.
And I say things like, you know, say, keep your side of the street clean. And in my head, it's a loaded sentence. It has all the things that I don't want to talk about in there.
Yeah.
And I don't like asking him details because he doesn't like to incriminate himself or make himself look bad. I don't want to call him a liar, but like, he doesn't want to incriminate himself because we're going to film later. And he doesn't like to look, he doesn't look bad.
No, that's right. Yeah.
He doesn't want to look bad. So you end up hearing some fakakta something or another. And I don't like hearing fakakta because I have such a good gauge of, like, I feel like Judge Judy. Like, don't pee on my leg and tell me it's raining. Like, I'm like that now. So
wait, we need a spinoff. Let's do a spinoff of a judge show with Judge Reza. And you, by the way, we can bring the Jen Shah case to the Reza court. We can bring the Erica Jane.
Dude, I give the best advice. So I'm telling homeboy to keep his side of the street clean, so we don't have to get into some uncomfortable discussions. But he just, you know, he's like, look,
yeah.
Until I have to say what it was, I'm not gonna say what it was.
So I do have to ask, like I said earlier,
please,
because everybody always wants to know about the MJ relationship.
Yeah.
Everybody saw, like, you know, the horrible moments that went down. You guys are obviously talking now.
We're in
things
a great
are
place.
Good.
I mean, they're better than they have been since we fell out. they're in the best place they've been
It's
in
30 years of friendship with you guys.
30 years of friendship.
Yeah.
100. And unfortunately, you guys were there for a lot of moments when you wish a camera was not there, you know? You wish a camera was not there, but we could have left it dark and ugly. We could have, you know? We could
Yeah,
have.
you really could
And
have.
we
Yeah.
don't want to. We don't want to. So it's, you know, it's, you get feedback from people like, oh, you know, one way or the other, but we didn't want to leave it that way. So we're trying, and it's working, and I love it.
Where are we with Tommy?
A much, 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 much better place. I'm getting really positive feedback from MJ, and I'm thinking that, you know, he's opening up, and, you know,
Yeah, that's all you can hope for.
That's what I'm
And
looking forward to. Absolutely.
I got this question a lot. Have you met baby Shams yet?
I'm not gonna say, because I think that
Okay, yes. Okay, cool. That's just everybody asked that.
You're gonna see something.
Okay, cool. That's all I want to know. As we start winding down a little bit, I still have a couple. Are you good to hang for?
Yeah, totally.
Okay, so
absolutely.
Okay, have you and Adam revisited at all the thought about having a child? Was that a conversation during the pandemic at all?
So Adam, I was in the backyard. We were playing music. Cannabis is legal in California. I might have been naked. He might have been standing in the doorway, and he might have said something about, you know, that maybe we made the right decision about not having kids.
Yeah.
And for us, that may be the right choice, and I think it is.
Okay, awesome. In terms of the Persian community that you introduced us to, or were part of that, did you see any changes? Like, I mean, was there like, I think I contributed to, like, in Persian culture as being able to show it on TV. Have you seen any benefits from that for Persians?
So 1000%. People ask, it has changed how people feel about Persians. There's this love and romanticism that, like, we're your homies. So I hear from Persians all over the US, when people find out that they're Persian, they'll be like, oh my God, do you want Shahs of Sandra? And some of them who know me, like, it happens to people that know me in real life. And like, they know real me. They don't care about Shahs of Sunset. And so it's funny, like, I love it. The positivity of how people are interested in our culture in a different way than has been portrayed in the media. That's been something that I've heard from the Persian community across the US.
What does the show get right about you, and what has the show gotten wrong about you? Because I ask this of every kind of Bravo person, because it's always like they get something completely right, and then still some people will be like, but they never really showed this side of me.
I think the part of me that knows how to do a lot of stuff, like, if you bought something at IKEA and threw the directions away, I could probably put it together for you. If you need, like, outdoor lights strung, I can string them. Like, if we buy a tree and bring it home, I can plant it. Like, the dishwasher had an error signal. Adam and I pulled it out and, like, went on a YouTube video, and, like, we handled it. Like, if you're buying a diamond and you want to know if you're paying the right price, you can call me. If you're remodeling your house, you can call me. Like, that is who I am in a lot of people's lives.
And
like,
you'll always be that way. That's always going to be that way.
That's just who I've been.
Yeah.
So that, I don't think that part of me gets shown or featured. So I don't know if it's getting it right or getting it wrong. But the one thing that started out and continued, like, my attention to detail, and how, like, I like you to experience some shiz when you come into my house, or if we're serving you food. Like, people always talk about the spreads, you know, like when we're
Yeah.
eating or when I'm entertaining. Like, I want you to come over and leave, and 2 days later, like, you hit me up and you're like, damn, like that, whatever I
Out.
ate at your house was really bomb, or like,
You're
and
about
that,
experience. You're about
yeah,
which by the way, I do want to
yeah,
point out that kind of seems like an extension of your hair care line too, is that it's kind of an
totally,
experience. Like, you know, that
100%.
so that really is your, like, I mean, that seems like key to Reza is
Yeah,
experience.
yeah, like the candle smelled good, the music was good, the champagne was better than most people serve you when you go to their house, even people that have a lot more money than me. You know, like, it was good, like it felt good. Like, you leave like wishing like you could come back very soon. That's what I love.
That's
And
awesome.
that they nailed that on Shahs.
What has been your favorite fan experience and your weirdest fan experience so far? Besides this podcast, what has been the weirdest fan experience you've ever had and the best?
Um, the weirdest fan experience was when one of my real estate clients was on a vacation and they were having a private boat something in Costa Rica, and we were speaking in real estate, and she told her real estate jargon, she told her husband, I'm gonna call Reza, and the captain in Costa Rica wigged the F out. Even though it was a real estate related matter, they weren't Shah's like savvy, and
Yeah,
they
yeah.
realized what a huge deal it was based off of like the fact that the captain of the ship in Costa Rica was having a meltdown, that it's Reza from Shahs of Sunset.
That's about okay. So nobody's gotten your name tattooed on their or branded on their body as Pete Davidson would do.
No, but like, you know, before, like when I used to check my DMs and stuff, people would, you know, people would
Yeah.
offer things that you
Yes.
do
Yeah. Of
with a
course. Yeah.
partner that you're in a relationship with and stuff. Oh yeah.
um.
Or
We.
yeah,
Yeah. That's
yeah.
amazing. No. That's. I wait. Do wait. Are you saying you don't check your DMs anymore?
I don't check my DMs
That's
anymore.
smart. That is very smart, actually. You're
Yeah,
friends
it's
with.
just like,
It's trouble. It's trouble. Um. We know you're friends with several Bravo Labs. Who's your faves? Like, who are your faves? Who do you actually consider real friends at this point? You've been in the
I
game
mean,
10 years.
there's so many, like, you know, Sheree is a friend. Margaret Josephs is a friend.
She by Sheree. She's coming back to Atlanta this
She
season.
by Sheree. I love Sheree. She's a beauty. I have so many. Dorinda's a friend. Jill Zarin's a friend. Bethany's a friend. I've had Kim Zolciak's a friend. I've had so many amazing experiences, and I've done Watch What Happens Live so many times with so many housewives. And you know, like Wendy, Dr. Wendy Osefo
Yeah.
and her husband, I consider them friends. And you know, you exchange information. I support them, they support me. It's like a sorority. It's this beautiful club that you belong to.
But is there any that you don't like? Is there anybody you're like, yeah?
You know, there's some I watch their shows. Like, I'm sorry, Ryan. Is your name Ryan or is it
Well,
Ryan?
I'm thinking about changing my name to Ryan because of OC this season and get a little dog called
Please
Mr.
don't.
Puppers.
I can't handle it. It's so weird for a grown human at a certain
He
like.
changed that
I,
after he was 25. Like he changed his name
that's
after
what
he was
I'm
25.
saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, no, dude, it's the Staples Center. I'm sorry. It's the still, you can call it, it's still the
It's
Sears
not.
Tower, right? It's gonna be the Sears Tower. I don't care who buys it.
Yeah, it's not
I don't know.
crypto.com arena. It's Staples Center. That's what it
I'm
is. Yeah.
not down with the name changing when you're grown, like grown, like all of a sudden you're somebody else now. Like what?
I want to know more about Dr. Jen's cement leg. She said she has cement in her leg. Did you? I don't know if you caught that, but it was crazy. And now she's doing like, did you watch this week with the brain mapping? She's like
So
mapping brains of her clients.
I haven't seen this week, but I
Oh,
did I was watching when she was trying to talk to him on the elliptical or something
And
when she was
crying, yeah.
working out, talking about how she's got to crank it up so it doesn't get, rusty or crusty or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
A lot of people wanted
you.
Would you be willing to say your iconic chocolate buttery croissant line?
Absolutely. You got to stay away from the I almost choked on my own words. You got to stay away from the buttery chocolate croissant. Unless it's your birthday, then you can eat them. But there's too many carbs and a lot of sugar if it's got the chocolate on it.
Sorry, that's so funny. Okay, okay. I swear to God, we're almost over. Real estate, though, real estate market in Los Angeles is crazy right now. I don't know if you've watched Selling Sunset or $1 Million Listing or anything like that. What is your involvement in real estate right now? You're still, it sounds like going.
Totally, yeah. I sold my client Bob Harper's house in the Hollywood
Wait,
Hills.
the workout guy?
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
nice.
Yeah. I sold it to him many years ago. I just sold it for him. I have an industrial building for another celebrity client that's closing escrow on Monday. My clients are DL and they don't want their, it takes a certain person as an owner of the real estate. You have to want to be exposed and have your money and your stuff out there. And a lot of my clients, they don't want their moves publicized.
See, that's the thing. It's like being famous sometimes has got to ruin things. Like you want to be able to make your money on the down low sometimes,
Well, for me, my clients don't want their money on blast. I may want to put my life on blast, but I do my real estate. A lot of it doesn't get shown. And, a lot of Persians think that the IRS is going to come looking for them. One of my very wealthy clients whose home I exposed on Shahs of Sunset got a call from the rabbi saying you can't be putting your, Reza's talking about the millions of dollars in antiquities in your house. You're going to get robbed.
To get that call from a rabbi has got to be really interesting.
Yeah, come on now. We're getting a little extreme there.
It's Friday afternoon right now, and just so the listeners get what are you doing? What is going to be your Friday afternoon? What are your weekend plans? Just so we can see that you're a real person. What is you got chores this weekend? What are we doing?
Oh my God! So speaking of chores,
you got the leaf blower, the cobalt leaf blower.
This is one of my absolute favorites. Adam has turned me out.
Wait, can you hold that up? Can you hold that up one more second? I just need to get a quick pic. Okay, yeah. You got a leaf blow this weekend.
First of all, Adam has turned me out. He has got me out on these streets. He's pimping me out as his assistant gardener on these streets day in and day out. I'm obsessed with it. I'm into it. We're propagating. I am so into the fact that you could the Persian in me. Wait a minute. You can break this plant, stick it in the ground, give it a little water, and it becomes more plant. Here's a plant, and here's another plant, and more plants, and what?
I love it. This is an amazing, Madonna has phases of her life. This is an amazing phase of your life. And by the way, bravo, if you're listening, I know some of you guys do listen, please, we need this sooner rather than later. I need to see him blowing leaves. I need to see all of this. Also, we just once again, as we finally wind up here, is Reza Be Obsessed is the hair care product. We need to actually support this, especially in Macy's. I'm going to put the website on which you can actually order from. But also, when this Macy's thing's hit, we got to go in full force and actually buy from them and show them the power of not only Reza, but this show. Yes, exactly. Yes.
In the stores. And honestly, this is a passion project of mine. And to show other people, Middle Easterners, gay, whatever your religion is, to get into Macy's as an entrepreneur. I hope that I crack the door a tiny bit for other LGBTQ plus people and people that are brown and look different. I hope that I've helped crack the door just a little bit.
I think you definitely have. You are really such an inspiration. Like this has been, I always say when I have a conversation that I'm kind of a little nervous going into, and then you made this so easy. You are such a kind of like a real light. So thank you. This has been awesome.
I appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
You guys, you know what to do. We support people that come on this show, but it's actually a good product anyway. So you're going to be fine. Even if you get it, this is a win-win if you go get this product. Reza Farahan, we will see you hopefully soon on our TV screens. If not, you will be on our Instagram, our YouTube, all of that.
Thank you so much. And send me your address personally so I can make sure you get a care package with all of the products.
Oh my God, yes.
Of it, so you can give me some feedback regardless of